Muluka. All right, we'll be linking up with Barrack any minute from now to also talk about Saba Saba Day celebrations and his take on this year's celebrations on Saba Saba, what he thinks about it. Once again, remember that the lobby groups notified police that 1,000 to 3,000 people will be expected to march from GOtv Gardens to Parliament buildings to present petitions to call for an end to extrajudicial killings and forced disappearances and police brutality, among other things. So once again, our reporters are spread across the 47 counties to bring us up to speed with everything we need to know as regards the Saba Saba Day commemoration in the year 2026. And we'll also be talking about how different it is from other years. As you can see on your screen right now, we are in Kitengela. That's how the roads are looking this morning. Remember, the National Police Service said that today will be a normal working day. There is no need to worry about anything. We have Barrack Muluka on standby. Barrack, good morning.
Morning to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Happy Saba Saba Day.
Happy Saba Saba to you. Were you born when we went to Kamkunji?
I think I was still a concept, but talk to us. Tell us what you know or think about Saba Saba Day.
We were there. We were big boys. We had already left school, university. We were working. And of course, the Kanu regime was very draconian. It had formally banned multi-party democracy. It had introduced Section 2A into the Constitution. And it had said that there was going to be only one party, and that party was going to be the Kenya African National Union, which was, of course, inscribed in the Constitution under Section 2A. And, of course, they were using that opportunity to lock people outside their competitive politics. If you wanted to run for parliament or as a councillor or as president, those days, those were the only three positions. You had to be cleared by the only party that was there, and that party was KANU. And so a lot of people were feeling left out. Moreover, the elections were always rigged, especially through the Q voting thing that came up in 1988. So you can see between 1988 and 1990, 2 years of political agitation for expansion of the democratic space. And of course, Ken Matiba and Charles Obia get arrested, they get detained. Other people run out of the country, people including the likes of Koigi Wamwere, Raila Odinga, and many others go into exile. And so you have Masinde Muliro, Martin Chikuku, James Orengo, and a few others braving it out to go to Kamkunji to agitate for the restoration of multi-party democracy. And that pushes us all the way to December 1991, when Section 2A is ultimately removed from the Constitution. So I think it's an important day in the democratic life of this country. It's a day which we ought to have recognized much the same way we recognize days like what was Kenyatta Day, now Mashujaa Day, and what we know as Madaraka Day. It's an important day.
Barrack, do you think we have held Saba Saba Day to that particular standard that it was set 36 years ago, just to remember people who fought for multi-party democracy in this country? Have we held it to that standard?
We have not, and I think we missed that boat when we were reviewing the Constitution. We forgot the fact that the Constitution remaking process was itself an exercise in struggle, a struggle for freedom, freedom of expression, political freedom that had been fought for in the 50s and in the 60s, and which we lost in the first almost 40 years of independence, but began regaining with Saba Saba. And therefore, when we were listing the national holidays, which are inscribed in the Constitution, perhaps we forgot effort. We forgot about the people who had been jailed, who had been killed, who had been detained by the independent state for struggle for their democratic space. And therefore, we find this amorphous arrangement where activists will go out and say, Saba Saba, we are celebrating. And then once those same people get into power, they demonize Saba Saba. You have seen that some of the loudest voices now against Saba Saba are people in the Orange Democratic Movement, people who until the other day were all over the place demonstrating, and therefore it becomes ambiguous, it becomes amorphous. It would have been a much better thing if we had recognized this day officially, and even if we can't do that constitutionally, the same way the minister who is in charge of Interior from time to time gazettes national holidays, they should consider doing that. Look at the police. They are telling us that July 7 will be a normal working day. And we wake up on this normal working day to access our normal working places, and we find that the police are behaving abnormally on the roads, on the highways. They have blockaded everything. When is it a normal working day that we see the police everywhere with barricades, with sharp wires, chain link, and razor wire blocking access? We can't call that a normal working day, so something seriously amiss.
So what will it take to officially recognize this day, Barrack? Because if we continue, this way, where National Police Service, for instance, wants to a notification that, of course, there will be some sort of procession and commemoration of Saba Saba Day, and of course, just as you've mentioned, police as well saying that this is a normal working day. What will it take for us, as a nation, the government, to recognize the importance of this day?
Fidelity to the law and fidelity to the law. And fidelity to the law says that everyone has a right to picket, everyone has a right to opinion, everyone has a right to mobilize picketing. And if you want to demonstrate, which is protected by the Constitution, all you need to do is to inform the police. You don't even seek permission. When the police say that this is an illegal demonstration because they do not recognize it, they do not have the mandate to recognize or to fail to recognize demonstrations as lawful. The only thing that the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, requires is that they will be informed, and informed in good time, and which we understand from the organizers of this demonstration that they have notified the police, even given them the arteries that they are going to follow. So fidelity to the law. And what does it take to be faithful to the law? To have the person in the highest office in the land, being he or she herself law-abiding, recognizing the Constitution and protecting the Constitution, that he or she has taken a sacrosanct oath to defend and to protect. And next to that is Parliament, the legislature. When you have a Parliament that is assertive, not a Parliament of auctioneers, of brokers, of power bargainers, not a Parliament of people who are on sale, and therefore Parliament that is taken hostage by the executive. Once we have those in order, we will be in a good place. And finally, therefore, Anne, citizens who understand their rights, citizens who understand the meaning of elections, because we also have citizens who have been taken hostage. We are in the Stockholm Syndrome hostage-taking scenario, where those who have been taken hostage will still vote back the same morbid Parliament.
All right. Asante sana, Barrack Muluka, for making time for us this morning once again, just to talk to us about Saba Saba Day. We do appreciate you for your time. That is Barrack Muluka, a strategic communication advisor.